Hi, I'm Brad Rosley. Thanks for tuning in again today. My topic for today is Series I savings bonds. Series I savings bonds. It's been a long time. I don't know if I've even ever actually talked about these before in public because the interest rates have been so darn low forever. But that's all changed. That's all changed thanks to radical government policies that have blown up our consumer price index and our inflation. Yes, it's killing us at the pump and in the grocery store and for most things that we buy. But one small silver lining that won't really do a ton to offset that because of some limits are these Series I savings bonds. They are a great place to put some cash every year to make a really nice interest rate in this high inflation environment that we're living in. As a matter of fact, through the end of October of 2022, the interest rate is currently set at 9.62%. You heard me right, 9.62% currently, and that's a guaranteed rate through October. There will be a new rate set. They're reset every 6 months. So depending on what the CPI is, they add that to whatever the fixed rate is, which is generally very low, like 0. They add the CPI to it, and they come up with a calculation, and they'll announce what their rate's going to be for the next 6 months. There's no loss of principal risk here whatsoever. This is backed by the federal government, and then, of course, they have full taxing authority, so that's thought to be about the safest place in the world you could put your money. There are some restrictions. Number one, you can only put in $10,000 a year per person. I say only. I know that's a lot of money for a lot of listeners, too. If you do it electronically, that limits $10,000. If you do it via the old school paper, then that limits $5,000. In addition to the $10,000 done electronically, you could add another $5,000 if you use money from your income tax return to buy that savings bond. There's also a tax benefit if you live in a state that has state income taxes. The interest is not state taxable. The federal income tax, it is taxable. You can pay it as you go annually, or you can wait until you cash the bond in to pay it. Now, the bond is has a 30-year maturity on it. That's another big point about this. It has a 30-year maturity. It doesn't mean you have to live 30 years or keep it 30 years. However, there are some restrictions you should be aware of. If you cash the bond out within the first 5 years, there'll be a 3-month interest penalty. Now, heck, if I'm making 9% and I have to give up a quarter of that, I'm still keeping 7%, which is a heck of a return. So it's not that big of a penalty, but it is out there. Okay? But you can cash them in. You just lose that 3 months interest. You have to hold them, though, for 1 year. You have to hold them for 1 year. You can put as little as $25 in electronically, or $50 if you do it via paper, up to that max I mentioned earlier. I'll have a link in the notes for the TreasuryDirect website where you go specifically to go ahead and buy those. So, in summary, it's a great, safe place to put your money. This beats the heck out of a CD. It beats the heck out of a savings account or money market. It's not even close. And that's all because it's an I bond, which is attached to the CPI and inflation, which right now is higher than it's been in many of my listeners' lifetimes. It's crazy. 9.62% is the current rate on this. It'll change again in October of 2022, and that'll be the new rate for the next 6 months. So I hope you'll give me a like, you'll give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends, subscribe to my channel. I've got a ton of informational videos, all made to try and help you become more informed about your finances. My business is Fortune Financial Group. I've been in business since 1996. I'm headquartered in Naples, Florida. I also have an office in Illinois, and I work with clients remotely throughout the country. So thanks a lot for tuning in. I really appreciate your time, and I wish you the very best.